Good evening, the last one standing, still here. We are over soon, heading to more fun part of the day, but hopefully this will be fun enough for you to go through this as well. So today I'm going to present to you on the business value articulation. It's going to be more of a business topic than the technical talks we had through the day. But before I start, I would like to ask you guys, how many of you own, not necessarily wear right now, but own a smartwatch? Raise your hand. Okay. Is there any particular brand you have in mind when we say smartwatch? Just nod your head if you can immediately think of a company. That is a brand. Does a brand mean value? That is a question, right? So I would like to start with a personal example of what value means to me. So 2 years ago, I did buy an Apple Watch because I was looking for a smartwatch. It was a lifestyle product. I was looking for a watch where I would be able to track my activities. But very recently, I changed to a different Garmin watch just because the previous watch was no longer fulfilling my needs. Despite the higher price, I was looking for a value due to the fact I had different requirements for the product that would serve the cases I was looking to have served. So I was looking to have more activity benefits within that. Now, Apple is a global brand. Probably, I would say like at least half of you thought of Apple as a smartwatch brand. You don't have to nod, you don't have to commit to that or anything. So what we can say is price does not equal value. Lower price does not equal higher value or lower value, so same goes otherwise. Value is subjective. And with that being said, I would like you to take a moment now and think of what does value mean to you. When we talk about business value, though, we are referring to the benefits that a product or service can bring to an organization, and that can include financial gains, operational improvements, strategic advantages that can benefit the organization to its overall success. Talking about business value, we do need to distinguish who we are talking to. So imagine a pyramid of hierarchy within an organization. At the very bottom, let's say we have up user level, frontline workers. Their value goals are certainly different to any other stage we will progress continuously right now. So when we talk about frontline workers and up user level, what they are looking for is to have their everyday life and operations easier, more effective, more smooth. That's what it's important to them, right? When we continue with the department management, what do they care for? They care about the performance of their team, about the operational efficiency of the guys in the field. We go slightly higher and we already talk about the senior management, the impact on business initiatives, and all the way up to the board and C-suite, we already take a look at the very long-term strategy, business objectives, shareholder values of the company. The priorities within the first and last level is huge. And why we're talking about this is because it is very important to distinguish from partners' perspective, from ISV perspective, but even as a client or anybody really company within itself, we have internal meetings. It's important to distinguish who we're talking to, what value we need to bring and present. Again, when we talk about value, we have 4 pillars of value. So we have revenue growth, cost savings or cost reduction, market share, and risk mitigation. Revenue growth and market share are managing money coming into the company, while on the other side, we have cost savings and risk mitigation that are managing money going out. But it is also important to think of a tangible and intangible aspects. So tangible aspects such as financial metrics, intangible aspects such as brand reputation or customer satisfaction. All of these contribute to the value. In our discussion with various companies, we often hear about the different challenges of the 4 pillars of value that we have just seen. And these can include resource optimization and remote workforce management, operating complex service environments, meeting high customer expectations. I guess you can agree with that. Last but not least, effective data management and analysis. To tackle these challenges, we take a look at the value framework. So again, to think of a value in business, it is not only about the requirements and price, It is necessary to look at the bigger picture and distinguish functional value, which means business impact we can achieve for our customers, and operational and a relationship value, which means improving the business and making it fulfilling to work together on a human level as well. To systematically articulate business value, we use a value framework, and this consists of 5 components. Value pillar, we talked about these before. Goal and strategy, it's a desired end state and approach taken to achieve the goal. Tactic, which is a specific action that supports the implementation of said strategy. Metrics, which is a measure of performance to track progress towards a goal. And finally, capability, which is a combination of skills, processes, technologies, and resources to reach the very first goal. Now, what happens sometimes? We skip from goal all the way to the capability right away. What we do, we miss very key important steps on how we define the value and how we want to bring it. We skip it, we talk about capability, and then what is the first question? What is the price? How much it costs? Well, it depends, right? Because it depends on what you look for, what you get in return. And if we skip these steps, that's where the missing piece is. So let's take an example to put this into practice. Let's talk about a company, let's say from utilities industry that is looking to reduce costs by 15%, okay? So the goal and strategy would be to enhance operational efficiency and reduction of costs in the energy service operations. Fair enough, right? The tactic would be to optimize mobile workforce more and have more effective preventive maintenance. We're getting somewhere. With the metrics, we establish and implement KPIs. So we talk about increasing frontline worker productivity by, 50%. Optimistic, maybe. Delivery time improvement by 30%. Why not? Something measurable. And now we take a look at the capabilities. Thanks to in-app guidance for installation or maintenance, having comprehensive forms with dynamic business logic, something as a capability to be able to achieve all of this. Now, to wrap up, I will take you through the life cycle flow. Step number 1 would be discovery and understanding. That means research and identify customer needs, objectives, pain points, challenges. Second one is value proposition development. So we develop a value proposition that clearly articulates how a product or service addresses these customer needs, pain points, objectives, and how they will be able to have the benefits and the tangible aspects delivered. We need to be able to effectively communicate and educate, otherwise the message is lost. Now we get to the capabilities part. We use some demos, product tours, free trials, exercises to showcase the functionalities that we say that are able to fulfill the value that we have already proposed. From value proposition, first, so demo, or always general, maybe at first, showcase some capabilities. We for surely talk about customization, and then later implementation of the product. From value proposition to value realization, it is to deliver accurate measurement of the promised value, to continue with continuous improvement. That means we still need to refine and enhance the solution based on the feedback coming from the customer needs, and to regularly update the solution to ensure it remains effective and competitive. And last but not least, we should nurture and maintain long-term relationships by, let's say, providing excellent customer service and support, engage in regular check-ins, business reviews with the client. I would like to finish with a Microsoft mission statement, which is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Understanding and delivering business value, it is crucial. But it's only part of the equation. And to truly maximize the impact, we need to know exactly who we are delivering the value to. And this is where defining the ideal customer profile becomes essential. And to delve deeper into this topic, I'm pleased to welcome my colleague Jane on the floor, as she will explain why defining an ideal customer profile is so critical, and she will guide you through the process of how to create one. Thank you.
Hello, mic test. Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk to you about defining the ideal customer profile. Firstly, I just want to comment that I'm so glad that podium is down there because I was practicing and I was standing behind it and nobody can see me. So I'm so glad that it's down there and hoping I'm not going to use it. But, okay, so this is what I'm going to talk to you about today. And after all the different discussions that we have from different speakers, from Resco side, from external speakers, now we're gonna know how to turn this into a revenue-generating powerhouse. And the simple answer is really just defining your ideal customer. By doing this, you can work out the perfect buyer. And when you work out the perfect buyer, you can bring them into life. Because if you don't really know who your target audience is, then you won't really know how to position your services and product that is way much more appealing to them. But firstly, why? Why do we need to define the ideal client? Simple answer to that is that we want your businesses and also ours to focus on the leads and accounts that actually most likely to prove fruitful to you. I came across this quotation a couple of weeks ago. Maybe some of you have already seen this one. I don't wish to be everything to be everyone, but I would like to be something to someone. And this resonates not only for my topic today, but also just life in general. Because you want to be valued and appreciated by at least one person rather than trying to please everyone else and just lose yourself to it. So what are the importance of an ICP? First would be conversion. So think about sending your marketing campaigns. If you send 1,000 emails to the right ICP, you will get a higher response rate because they not only understand your offerings, but rather value your offerings. Secondly would be for feedback. So once you speak to right ICP, you will have great or right conversation. And right conversation always results to a right feedback. And lastly would be adoption. So if something is tailored to your needs, then it will be easier to implement. And always, right adoption starts with a good customer experience. So that being said, now you know why it's important to be as specific as possible with your ICP. So we define it, we establish why it's important. Now what's the next step? How do you define one? First, we're going to take a look at the market leaders. You can talk about based on their firmographics, environmental aspects, behavioral. Second, we're going to analyze these data to get insights. And last but not the least, you can develop personas from it. So based on their goals and objectives, so you know how to communicate with them, and also depending on their pain points. So you might be wondering now, who would that be for Resco? So let's take a look at an example for, again, utilities. Utilities is one of the, I would say, industry that recognizes the value the most. It's because, firstly, they're service-based, so it means they simply rely on frontline workers. And on top of that, in this industry, what they do is really rather complex, and therefore they need an advanced solution. But that's not the only problem. As you can see it here, these are the couple of the problems that this industry has. So talking about from workforce management, regulatory compliance, asset maintenance, and so on. And so what we actually did is that we tailored our approach in terms of outreach to these challenges. And due to this, we were able to get a feedback like this. So whenever you need new information, new field, new processes, you can get it almost instantly. And this was powered through Resco's data collection, design, and experience. So if you talk about the no-code designer for digital forms, where you can capture any data, photos, make videos, signatures, or even 1,000 questions. Efficient storage of extensive questionnaires, even, for example, 5 million records, and customizable workflow. Another feedback that we actually got is based on our configurability and customization. With this, we are able to have this, I think it mentioned many times today, this low-code, no-code environment, which means that you just need to design once and deploy everywhere. Even advanced functionality only through configuration and out-of-the-box components inspired by mobile work use cases. Another example would be through our advanced business logic, where you can save tons of resources in these processes. So this is ideal for customers with large frontline workers, and we support their complex data structure, where we carry extensive business flow, allowing simplification of lengthy field processes, and we allow quick implementation of change requests. And on top of all of this is thanks to our offline-first architecture. So if you really think about it, you don't need to worry anymore if it's 5G or 3G when you're working out there, because now offline doesn't necessarily mean no connection. If you go below 3G, then you wouldn't be able to really complete your job. And thanks to this, we have full availability of functionality regardless of your reception quality. Also, offline memory capacity for over 10 million records, offline custom business logic for, let's say, data validation and pricing algorithm, and last but not the least, advanced sync conflict resolution. Okay, so now we talk about already the why, how, and who would that be for Resco. But I would like to tell you that this is not just limited to utilities. That was just an example. And we also talk about the value proposition that was shared earlier by my colleague on how it would be delivered. So really, defining your ideal customer really sharpens your strategy like never before, because if you know the right ICP, you would know the right messaging, the right channel to reach them, and you can even design your visuals that is most likely that resonates their style and aspiration. So I encourage you to let's have this discussion. It could be with me later at the reception after this session, I mean not directly after this session, but you can talk also to your BDMs, expand together how you can define these ICPs together. Again, not limited to utilities. You can expand on another industry. It could be, I don't know, oil and gas, agriculture, real estate, or non-for-profit. And when you expand together these ICPs, you will be able to make the campaigns right, and let's make sure our value finds its customer. Thank you.